Hey, testing, buddy. As soon as we start the stream, we already lose one viewer. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Alrighty. Alright, let's get this crap live. Hey. Crap off the screen. And there's my fucking desktop. Son of a bitch. Look at that mess. Oh my god. Icons all over the place. Alright. There's... Oh, fuck. That's fucking... There we go. Oh, damn. Alright. I don't know where I'm gonna put my goblin thought. Spent all my money at the casino. Alrighty, let's fire up some Wilcock. Let's react to some crazy UFO nuts. Our stream dead? What the fuck? Did fucking stream die? Alright, there it is. What the hell's going on? Like, what's going on, man? Alright, the physics of tornadoes. Oh my god, this dude has a 5-hour stream. Holy crap. So we might just scoot around.
Woo, all right. I'm David Wilcock. Thank you for being here. Let's make sure we got audio. Everything looks good. I bet David will be looking cool today. How did you ever guess? I'm David Wilcock. This is the secret physics of tornadoes, which is one of my most exciting topics to talk about.
Physics of bullshit.
And so today it's warm outside. We've got sunlight. It's beautiful. It's finally not snowing. It's finally not raining. It's finally not cold. So I said, you know what, I'll just wear a nice country shirt, kind of let my inner Kentuckian come out. I lived in Kentucky for, I don't even know, what, 3 years, 4 years, something like that. So yeah, this is kind of a more southern style, but I know you guys can handle that. I know that I look good today. I'm actually aware that I look good today because goddamn, I'm looking in the monitor and it's like, darn, the hair is working, the face is working, the shirt is working.
Would a man who's an avatar from Michael the Archangel say the Lord's name in vain like that? And if this is the most narcissistic shit I've ever seen. This is how he starts a stream. Oh, GG, I look good.
Everything just looks good. You know, that's a great way to start. Saturday, yes, we're starting on Saturday. New hair. I did get a haircut. But it was last week. It's just that I've styled it a little bit differently this week than I did last week. But we have a major event coming up for our company that should lead to some very exciting. You kind of look just like Archangel Michael. This is Jackie Baby. Thank you.
How the fuck would anyone know what that guy looks like? Like, to be fair.
Thank you.
Not guy, angel. Pardon me.
You always look really good. We love you so much. Thank you for sharing us. All your hard work, says Teresa Dastrup. You're looking snazzy, David. I'm about 10 miles from the Kentucky border, says Kimberly Rupp. Actually, this area that I used to live in, Kentucky, Indiana, is going to factor in majorly today because one of the things that we're going to be talking...
I said Kentucky, Indiana, not Kentucky the state. I didn't even clarify that, you ding-dong.
talking about is the New Madrid Fault and
Oh,
how
here we
these
go.
eruptions that took place in 1812 precisely correlated with the United States government, unfortunately, stealing land from the Shawnee Native Americans led by Tecumseh. And so there's a very curious correlation between the, you know, if you want to look at it that way, like a genocidal war to take over their land, and then the biggest earthquakes in history happened right at that time. And so one of the things we're going to postulate.
But did they happen as a result of it? No, probably not. It's probably just more immaculate timing than it is actually, you know, something happened. Oh, man, this guy's already giving me a headache. Holy free holies. What the Buffalo Spunks? David's hairline's getting genocided. Oh, the Red Feather, welcome everyone to the stream. His hairline's being genocided. Damn, that's cool. Welcome everyone. I don't know if we'll do the full 5 hours of this shit, but oh, we're already
Throughout this science of the secret physics of tornado.
Been suspended for Twitter. Oh, must have been some of Wilcock's goons that flagged your stuff, huh?
Tornadoes.
I'm doing good. The goblin didn't take my money. I got such a stupid fucking gimmick. Get a load of this one, guys. So oh shit. So when I get depressed, I do stupid shit. So I drew some money and went to an online casino. So I'm blaming it. I'm blaming it all on this goblin. The sexy goblin. We need to recoup. We need to recoup our. Need to recoup our losses. Damn it.
Is how consciousness interfaces with various types of energetic phenomena that could be called ball lightning, and that this could be the reason why, when Tecumseh's people were wiped out by the U.S. in 1812, that there were these massive 1811 to 12 massive earthquakes. You're going to hear all that coming up. 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖑𝖆 says, hello, David. I found the Edgar Cayce story fascinating. I read Forest Spirits, asked him his wishes. Yes, it was a female entity.
You see, there's lots of alcohol, which. Well, we don't really drink, so I guess. Which actor David used the Temu version? Of that guy from the Dungeons and Dragons movie. You know who I'm he was also in Kingdom of Heaven. You know who I'm talking about? Now we have to take a rabbit hole. Hold on. Let me. Son of a bitch. Dungeons and D&D 2000s IMDb. Dungeons and Dragons movie. Give me a moment. He is like a Temu Jeremy Irons. Kind of? Or am I way off on that one? Well, whoever it is, it's got to be a fucking dork.
Probably one of these angelic ETs, and he told them his wish was to help sick children. Meanwhile, his hobby was taking pictures. That's right. Iris Matzoth says, love you and thank you. She donated 25 pounds, which I'm losing pounds. Yeah, I'm actually getting thinner and thinner, you guys. I've been following this ketogenic diet. It's really working out. I do have more energy. I am predominantly less depressed. We'll talk about why I had extra depression this week, but no big deal. You know, we're working through all these things. And
you make what, like 100,000 to 250,000? What is a year? You fucking curly haired douche. Oh, depressed.
The only thing that really matters in my life is that we get this done. We get these massive jobs done that the Alliance is working on. Midnight Mark donated $10. Sarah Love says, you look great. Julia Weingart says, yay, I was not expecting a talk from David today. This is awesome. So yeah, there's a lot of great stuff going on, and we are in an excellent position here. So
yeah, right. If he wasn't pouring most of his money into fucking Stavati Aerospace, a Ponzi scheme.
So right now we have 842 viewers. That number is going to go up quite a bit. It's probably artificially low because I've never even seen it below 1,000. So we'll watch that number go up soon enough.
There's rumors that he bots his streams, which makes sense because I can't imagine as many people tune into his shit as like really. Am I having a stroke? God dang. Can't imagine that many people tuning into his shit. Blonde Zorg.
Ancient Aliens played an entire episode on Edgar Cayce last night, says Dragon Scales Journals. Very cool. Verity Turner donated 10 pounds. Thank you very much. Bring the sizzle, says B. Johnny. Hello, David. I hope you are feeling better, says Juan Carlos Juarez Angulo. Yep, now we're almost up to 1,000. Tammy Seliglot just donated $20. Thank you very much.
Let's get to the.
I love it when the show comes a day early. I can't get it. As of last night, they had initially agreed to a ceasefire. This was something that 47 put out after a long.
Also convinced some of these super chats and giving him $100 a week. That could be. That would make sense too, because money laundering, yeah. Although he would have to get that money back to the people, right? Because I know, weirdly enough, speaking of money laundering, when I was working at a Shell, people around here where I work, they would use gift cards to launder for shit. Because there's like big drug shit going on here in this part of Kentucky. I don't know if it's like heroin, fent, or whatever, but people would come in to the gas station asking for gift cards. And that's what we thought it was, because they're using gift cards to exchange for drugs or whatever else, because it's also a way they can launder money. Because it's not because gift cards are harder to track. So it wouldn't be like laundering money through banks or through people. You could just have gift cards or preloaded cards.
Long night of talks.
So you're probably 100% right there, Buffalo Spunks, on it being some kind of fucking laundering.
Mediated by the U.S., I am pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Woo! Congratulations to both countries on using common sense and great intelligence, which lasted about 7 hours.
Boo! I wanted them to blow each other up, damn it.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. Woo! Well, the deal maker has just prevented a nuclear war. I mean, they're still trying to go at it, but I think it'll get calmed back down again.
Yeah, it wasn't call centers, because it was like the quantity was like under $100. Usually.
Pretty sure of that. So if you don't like him and you think, oh my God, well, he's trying to end the wars, folks. So they agreed to a ceasefire with immediate effect. And there it is on Zero. I didn't even have time to take pictures of the headlines that say that now they're arguing again. But let's just hope that we can mediate. We can get, ambassadors and diplomats in there and have some type of coordinated agreement. And that's why, like with this legal battle, I said to my...
Or hear me out. We let India and Pakistan duke it out. And whoever wins gets Kashmir and Jammu. Because they've been bitching about this shit since, what, the 50s? 50s and the 70s? That controlled region?
My lawyer, like, dude, I don't care. Let's just give them the stuff that they're asking for. It doesn't really matter to me because I know that I'm innocent and they're not charging me directly anyway. So it's a very interesting hologram between this war that's going on with India and Pakistan.
Oh, fuck off.
And the fact that in my own legal world, we've had this massive escalation.
Oh, because everything's connected with our synchronicity. You see, there's parallel time loops with India and Pakistan's peace deal and my fuckery with Gaia, that I tried to steal money from Gaia TV and I'm being sued for it because I'm a fucking idiot. Isn't that a sign of mental illness too when you start seeing connections all over the fucking place?
Past week, they sent us a very, very angry letter, to put it mildly. So, here's another one that you might not have caught. It's kind of...
The world revolves around David, who is the most important person ever. Duh. Right. Excuse me.
Not a big story, but the cords are finally being cut to this country by the U.S. Here it is.
By the way, I'm not going to do the same fucking thing every other person says about David Wilcock here, where it's anti-Semitism. Oh, he hates Jews. Look, just because you're skeptical of Israel and Zionism, which I can pretty much get, like, the reasoning why someone would be skeptical of, does not mean they hate Jews and does not mean they're anti-Semitic, for Christ's sakes. Can we shut the fuck up about it? And even if they were, what the fuck could anyone do about it? They're anti-Semitic. Let's move on. You know, no offense, I don't mean to throw shade at other content creators, but every time I hear that, I'm like, holy shit. Even if he was, we're talking about David Wilcock here, who's like batshit insane.
And by the way, the reason why all my TG looks different is because I had to install an entirely different version of it in order to export data for this legal battle that we're having. So whatever, you know, there's nothing to hide. So we're gonna go ahead and probably give it to him. I think he's gonna listen to me. So
it's more boring than Sticks. Batshit than Sticks, yeah. Speaking of Telegram, I gotta mute mine. I gotta mute my erotic roleplay Telegram. That's a joke, by the way. You know, that's what AI porn bots are for. Hey. All right, we'll stop being gross.
Check this out.
No, now if David Wilcock gets into the Sticks like insanity, where he believes he can cast spells, then that's going to be some funny shit. I'm surprised David Wilcock hasn't reached into that room of insanity yet. I'm surprised we haven't gotten to the point where David believes that he can cast spells and blood magic. Oh my god. If David Wilcock puts on a fucking pirate hat and claims that he's a blood pirate wizard, could hook up with Sticks. Oh god. Oh, that would be funny if they did a stream together, wouldn't it?
He has severed ties with N, criticizing the Prime Minister and his allies for being
He having his own legal trouble. Yeah, because he battered his girlfriend and he's still in court for that, I think.
Arrogant. And attempting to pressure him, the U.S. Sec of Defense has canceled his scheduled visit. And then, wait a minute, it goes on. Not only are they saying he's arrogant, that he's trying to pressure, that the...
And again, this is all people reading too much shit. There's plenty of reasons that Trump would cancel a diplomatic visit to Israel or with Netanyahu. It could have been that he was going to Qatar or other stuff like came up. So again, with this telegram that David Wilcock is in, along, you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but some people jump to conclusions and read too much into shit, and I think that's what this is. So it's just Trump changing his schedule, and again, it's not, you know, it's not him cutting ties with Israel or Netanyahu. That wouldn't happen in like a million years. Actually, not. Oh, that's not good luck being a battery, I believe. If it's remotely true, I don't know why he thought that he would get him. Yeah, and then one of the district attorneys or the attorneys that was like had Styx's case in his courts, like killed himself or died, and of course Styx is claiming that that was his magic. You see,
ties have been cut. I mean, I hope you understand this is the most dangerous thing that could possibly happen. Okay, this is like extremely, extremely concerning, because once the ties are cut, then they're going to try to do more than they've already been doing. There's
Of course, here's David Wilcock.
going to be, again, a dramatic escalation.
Assuming, again, totally not a Zionist. I don't really give a fuck about what savages do to each other 9 to 10,000 miles away. The same savages, there's exceptions to the rule to what I'm about to say. There's, most of them hate Christ. Most of them hate Christians. And for that reason alone, I think Israel and the Palestinians deserve each other. They deserve the violence they're perpetuating on each other. And I know that's kind of bad, but again, quite frankly, by and large, people who hate me, who want to see me dead, people who have terms like kafir and goyim that dehumanize non-believers can get fucked, in my opinion. But David here, Israel is not that stupid to continue shitting in everyone else's cereal boxes in the Middle East. The whole region hates them, and I don't think, I mean, they would go any more crazier than they're thinking. But then again, who knows?
And so things are really reaching a peak.
Messages, YouTube kind of that feature yeah, that only, yeah, it's more pointless fucking bullshit from YouTube.
It just so happens it's happening in my own life as well at the same time.
Oh my God.
So what the hell, you know? We'll just keep on moving. But this is really, really exciting in the long run. I mean, in the short run, something bad might happen, but we also have this. Even the New York Times, the old blue lady, has published an op-ed claiming that the current government is not our ally. And then here's another one. This is all just in the last couple.
This is all like unconfirmed bullshit. So whatever Telegram David Wilcock is in is seriously shuffling some bullshit.
Couple of days. This organization is being shut out of the administration. Mike Waltz was working to undermine him, and there's hope that the U.S. will cut ties with both of these agencies, according to the independent journalist David R. Riley. So there's all this talk online, you know, people who have been following Ezra, following the Alliance's posts have said,
Guidance Alliance.
wait a minute. You know, these guys are the bad guys, and why does he appear to be out there supporting them? We elected him to...
Al-Qaeda still doing whippets? Or nitrous?
Fight for us. We didn't elect him to roll over and play dead or fold like an accordion, whatever analogy you want to use. What the hell is going on? They've gotten so mad. So, look, this is a very, very, very big deal. Okay, it says right here, the first one we saw, that he's being called arrogant and that he was attempting to pressure our country. Scheduled visits are being canceled. They are not our ally, and they are all being shut out of the administration. So
that's not true. I mean, that would be some earth-shattering shit. Speaking of anti-Semites, I mean, if this happened, you would have anti-Semites blowing loads in their pants if something this crazy happened, but I don't see it happening. AIPAC contributes billions, tens, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars every election cycle to I think maybe Republican and Democrat, mostly Republican. So, I mean, if that was to happen, that'd be pretty, like, fucking crazy.
So, finally, right, it's like, this is just, it's not about any one group of people. It's just about a small little clique at the very top of this country. The people in this country want to see good things happen. They want to see justice. They want to see their country heal. They don't want this war at all. The Showman Sauna just donated. Greetings, David. Amazing to see you on a Saturday. Well, that's because we got Mother's Day tomorrow, and I negotiate with him and quietly reach out first. The main drivers of their climb down were internal signals that their companies were struggling to avoid bankruptcy and to replace the market they have over here. So this is actually really good news. I guess there's some news out there that he's supposedly going to knock it down to 80%, which still seems really, really high. But that...
Into Vegas shared a bunch of private messages, yeah. Hackamania, right? Of the polycule, I guess it was an attempt to own Aaron. but it doesn't make Rikaida look any better either. No, it just makes Rikaida look more like a cuck. And I don't see how you can sit there and be like, Aaron was slurping up my love spunk of April, even though he fucked my wife. Dab on him. It's like, you guys are all fucking retarded. He slurped up my manches, but I let him raw dog my wife in the butt and the. It's like this isn't as big as a W as you think it is from Rackets. And then he's got the Vito the Pedo 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖕𝖒 was there, and who's that onion guy? What's his face? Belton. And those two guys are two like pedophiles in a pod. Allegedly. But yeah, it's... Oh, we did a whole event where we made Aaron look like a cuck, but he fucked my wife and blew his juice on her too. Hey! Self-felt. It's very rarely you can get someone that could have hackamania, a whole convention surrounding the idea that you're a fat fucking cuck that is addicted to cocaine, nitrous oxide, and you blew it up so fucking bad. Like, if something like that happened to me, I better not make that joke, because last time I flashed a gun on screen, the stream got taken down. But, well, first off, I wouldn't let anyone fuck my wife. I would fuck theirs, but that's as far as it goes. I don't. How could someone go to a convention about, like, cuckery? Anyways, maybe we should be covering Rackets instead of this ding dong.
That's the first stage of an evolving process. We're no longer at 145%. All the people that have been preaching fear and doom about this, oh my God. Nope.
But that's what Kayla Rikaida was saying.
It's all being worked out because it's a game of chicken and they just jerked the wheel, which is good for everybody else, right? Let's be glad that this is happening. So all of these things I'm telling you are leading up to, again, the mass arrest scenario, which is something that I would hope that just about everybody, except for Steven probably, is going to be really excited about. He seems to very much not want this to happen because he's probably on the list. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Yeah, I think he's got those implants. I think those beaver teeth.
This is a very exciting thing. If you've been following my work, in 2009, I got military briefings about an alliance in the U.S. military working with countries overseas. And the idea was that they are going to bring this evil group to justice. And it is so deeply entrenched, you can't just take...
Yeah, because this is the guy you would want to trust with the secret of the secret holy of the holies. This fucking guy. Yeah, because... Oh my God. So let us take a quick little detour. We'll go to Alyssa Clips. I think she has some of the hackamania coverage. Oh boy, okay, so we have... Oh God, we got some good... All right.
Don't forget about Razor Fist in the Kino Casino.
Oh God, all right. Take a little detour. For himself to constantly smile or he's talking, especially about these atrocities, right? Favorite part of the lines is they don't exist, right? And you know, for a whole bunch of aliens, they're like all powerful, knowing what, like if Stephen Cambion is such a fucking problem, why don't the aliens? I mean, the aliens can like interfere, right, in our affairs. Why don't they just turn off Steven's internet or something? Oh God. Okay, here we go.
Don't forget about Razor Fist in the Kino Casino. Yes. Okay. So I answered this, but I was muted. Someone asked if Razor Fist could sue the Kino Casino. The Kino boys are in Canada, and Canada doesn't have the same speech protections as the United States. So, you know, they really need to be very careful. They say a lot of stuff that, you know, depending on the person, could very quickly push into the realm of defamation. And if that person has any sort of Canadian audience or Canadian connections sufficient to be able to bring cause of action in Canada, they could be in, they could really be in trouble with that. In the United States, you know, you have anti-slap laws and stuff like that.
Yeah, you should know about that, Nick Rackets, because didn't you say some defamatory shit towards another dude, and you're still going to court for that, motherfucker? So this guy right here, Mr. Rackets, Mr. Nickety Crackets, is going to sit here and say, oh, very serious problem. You should watch what you say on the internet. This guy accused some other dude of being like a child rapist. Like, on the internet, with no sense of, like, irony or joking or, like, my opinion, right? Like, and this guy's gonna sit here and judge Kino Casino for making fun of Razor Fist, who allegedly got caught jorking it. But Kino Casino, what they do is they make stories entertaining and funny, even though it's all bullshit. Right? But this guy is so rich. Going to sue the Kino Casino? He's not, but Razor Fist might.
In Canada, you don't have the same speech protections at all, and they really don't care about that whole comedy thing. It's like, sorry.
I'm pretty sure comedy is still covered under freedom of speech in Canada. And the issue, I think, again, I'm no high caliber lawyer like Nickety Crackets here, but I'm pretty sure for defamation and that kind of shit, you kind of have to prove damages, which a real lawyer will tell you that proving damages to you or your character as a result of defamation or slander is very difficult to do, because you have to actually legitimately prove damages and loss to your character or business. So again, this is where Nick Rakita, even though he's supposed to be a lawyer, doesn't tell his people that, because it's not convenient. Because he has to paint Kino Casino up as a whole bunch of slandering, defamatory, like retarded Canadians, right? So that's why I fucking hate lawyers, because this guy, he's leaving out big sections of what it is to prove defamation or, like, slander. But, again, I'm no lawyer. I'm just mildly retarded. But he doesn't point that out.
I wouldn't want to be sued for defamation in Canada. Pinkalo the Driving Ape says, Nick, I don't know who told you that horse shit about the Canadian free speech laws. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was the maybe it was the cases that were lost up in Canada on defamation over jokes. Specifically, like, that would not have flown in the United States. I can't remember the context of them. It was
Oh, so you can't remember the contents. Right? Context.
It was probably 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. There was a very prominent case of a comedian who,
yeah, right? Because he keeps going. Oh. Shut up. My stream. Enjoy. Come up there.
who told a couple jokes on stage and got hit with a defamation case and lost. I mean, and it was bad. He got hammered. So again, it always goes like this with you non-Americans. An American who's always right because we're awesome says something correct. and they say, hey, we have more speech protections than everybody else. And some Londonite or some
Here he is trying to be funny.
faggy little Frenchman comes prancing out to say, no, we have free speech too. And then you get news story after news story after news story of people getting arrested or losing defamation cases over there left and right. And they're like, oh, no. It's like the same thing. No, it isn't. It just isn't. The United States has not enough speech protection, but it still has the most in the world. Your stupid Magna Carta bullshit isn't the same as the Constitution, and you know it. Stop lying. Oh, no, we have free speech too, my friend. No, you don't. It happens every...
Happened to your ironclad constitutional defense that was going to get your court case right? Uh-oh. I'm trying to think of the guy who's currently suing him. Montegraph. There we go. Montegraph was the guy he's being sued for defamation because he called him a child rapist. Should have hired Barnes. But I'm with my grandpa on this one, dude. You know, God rest his soul, but my grandpa fucking hated lawyers, and I think I'm with old Gramps on this one. That lawyers.
Every time you say it, they're like, no, we are all so free. They must be Quebecois. You're just making shit up, lying drug addict. No, I'm a truth-telling drug addict. Suck my balls.
All right, next clip. Oh my. So, you know, casinos can be careful about their defamation. Gabriel's new boyfriend, he said, let's get them covering a little bit of hackamania in this fucking dumpster fire. Fake lawyers like Rikita, right? Who pretends to fucking know everything, who's never won a single case.
You guys might remember this song to lead.
God. Fucking voice. I thought I hated the sound of my voice.
So as far as
it's another win for the toe. Guys, Aaron Imholt. We love him. We love him, don't we? And why do we love him? Because he can't stop winning.
And so you decided to dedicate a whole fucking show in Vegas. In Vegas, where you could have been gambling, going to strip clubs, seeing titties, fucking titties, grabbing ass, gambling. And instead, like a bunch of faggots, you decide to dedicate an entire show to a man who's not only a cuck, but the guy who you're defending is also a cuck within that same cuckacule. I mean, if I'm going to Vegas, they literally could have done this on a life right. Instead of flying every retard out there. And it's Vegas, again, where I'm going to quote what I was saying earlier. Strippers, titties, prostitute, gambling. And they're going to dedicate it to Aaron Imholt. All right.
My problem is guys who can't
this fucking 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖑𝖆𝖗.
Can't stop winning. They
That was
drive
my
me
first thought when I went deaf. Was like, fuck, that's another win for the toe.
It's another win for the toe. Fuck. You can't beat this guy because he's got you outfoxed at every moment.
He's the Boston Celtics of podcasters. Anyone following the series? Okay, never mind.
Let's put it this way. I was reading.
Boston Celtics just beat the Knicks, and I think they're going on to the finals. So that joke.
Recently watching some Aaron Imholt clips, and I learned that his wedding ring that he gave to April, she kept it, and then for some reason Nick Rikita has it. Now, Nick, is that true? Is Nick still here? Nick doesn't give a shit. Oh, Nick, do you still have Aaron Imholt's wedding ring?
If I was caught on tape at this fucking event, I would quite literally I would dip a gun barrel in honey or chocolate syrup, and I would plant that right in my. Oh God, dude! People paid for this to listen to an unfunny, alleged fucking pedophile talk about another man's wedding ring in a cuckold situation. Who's the dude with long hair? That is Dax. 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖑𝖆𝖗.
If I don't know, well, who'd she get? Well,
What's the lawyer term for that?
Aaron,
Evasive.
Right?
No, I kept it because it's attached to something that was probably going to be used as evidence in my trial if that dumbass wanted to testify.
Okay, so Nick is saying it's attached to a piece of evidence.
I pleaded guilty because I had a bunch of drugs. I gave the ring back.
Well, my understanding would be that if you spend a lot of money on an expensive piece of jewelry and the guy who's 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖕 gets the jewelry.
No, after this weekend, I can't hear any more about the
would-
cum eating, man.
I would not call that a win. But I've learned from Aaron that I'm an idiot. Let's find out.
And then she didn't, which I thought was an awesome move by her. You shouldn't keep that ring. I'd sell it. That's the biggest fuck you to me. You're pissed at me. You sell that ring, fuck you, I'm taking the money. But instead, Nick couldn't
Actually,
part with it.
yeah, right. Or why isn't he on stage? If he's in fact the king cuck of the event.
So he kept my wedding ring. Dude, eternally in cuckitude much. Holy shit.
Eternal
Los Federales says
cuckitude.
Nick's gonna melt down the ring and turn it into a 𝕿𝖒𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖒𝖏.
The
Bro.
chins have spoken.
How did you get so owned? You can hear that laughter from him. He's completely destroyed you somehow. I can't completely wrap my head around it. He goes on to explain a little more about this.
Oh my
This is the gayest fucking shit I've ever seen.
God. You know, like the Sonichu medallion is cursed? Maybe my wedding ring is like the Lord of the Rings ring. That's why he's slowly transforming into Gollum. People thought it was the
That's
cocaine
funny.
and the Adderall and the nitrous huffing and all that shit. What if it's my ring that's slowly driving him insane? Well, quickly driving him insane.
Oh God, he can't make one insult. It's just
know I
always
was such a
halfway through and then
wanted
edit.
Hold on 1 second.
Sorry, drives me insane.
Let's hear
17 minutes of this. There's a time when Nick was on stage from a guy who looks like a fucking who? Dr. Zeus.
how he comments on. I don't even know if I understand this.
Yeah. I didn't know I was such a wanted gal.
I didn't know I was such a wanted gal.
I've learned so much about winning from this guy. It's crazy. I always thought my life was trash, but I learned just everything is great. I started going through his Twitter to learn a little more about how I can be a big
I like
winner.
that he kicks it off with a good Lord of the Rings reference.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
I wanted to learn how to be a big winner like this guy. Now, you would think your wife leaving you, it's sad. You don't have someone to cook you delicious home-cooked meals. But as we're going to see from Aaron, that's not a problem because you can just nail... Look
Oh my
at
God,
this.
that looks like a perfect lasagna right there. How did he pull that
Now, he
off?
says it's not the best lighting. He is a modest guy, but that is a meal for a king. And
So now we're critiquing a dude's lasagna. When you're in the city of sin, again, not saying I would, but there's strip clubs, prostitutes, gambling, drinking, literally any form of debauchery you can get into, any form of adult fun you can have. And there's a room full of a bunch of dumbasses with 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖏 critiquing someone's lasagna.
it doesn't stop there.
He posted that as a brag.
Look at this.
No lie.
I made a little white chicken chili for everyone tonight. Another win for the 𝕿𝖐, I would say.
Oh, where's your white chicken chili, huh?
Now,
I'm not really a fan of Aaron, but it's just kind of having me root for Team Aaron 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖊𝖒.
normally I would, you're going to use your outside smoker to smoke meats, but you can put a frozen pizza in there? That's a W that cannot be measured up to. And how does he make these excellent meals with all these spices?
I think the stream got... Oh. What, this stream or...
He can afford spices?
I know. And he's bragging about...
and Aaron are both, dude.
His Target brand chili powder there. He's got
Not since Marco Polo was trading with the East have I seen so many spices.
You're critiquing someone's spices? Oh, the one where they shouldn't Aaron. Oh.
And but what if you overspice it, Aaron? That, of course, would be an L. If you use too much spice, well, not for the toe.
Oh, you know what's an L? Having it hosting an event called Hackamania in the City of Sin, where you could literally be doing anything else other than obsessing over another dude. And that's in the same cuck group as the dude you're trying to defend.
Who says, no, the recipe was a bit basil heavy.
Basil heavy.
It was not a bad first attempt.
You know what this is? This is like bad comedians who are trying to be funny, so they laugh at everything to try and get other people to laugh. That's what this shit is. This is the worst fucking stand-up I've seen in my life.
Everything this guy does is gold.
What are you, gay? That's the first comment? And he has to reply to it. He has to reply to every single one.
Yeah, at least he knows how to cook food.
We walk by a bunch of dirty golf balls. We don't think twice about it, but the toe sees opportunity. $10 at a garage sale for a bucket of balls, gloves, and tees? Time to use a pickle scrubber, soap, and water to see which ones are solid. Awesome Saturday.
He is owning this room right now.
Yeah, because, again, you guys are in Vegas for the third time. The City of Sin. I don't need to say any more. Oh my god, dude.
We're destroyed. Carl, I don't...
Yeah, you kind of are. That whole entire event, Hackamania, was like a fucking self-felt on the Rakita camp.
I think you understand. He's laid this out for you, how you can beat him. Do you know this? He wants you to...
I'm gonna give this shit 5 more minutes.
...to know that you're a puppet. This is horrible, what he's saying.
Social media find to own him, right?
Let's hear it.
𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖕𝖊𝖒 says, I never got how people haven't figured that out. You only respond when they talk about you, so just ignore you, and you have no power. Right? I've been saying it since the radio days. We were Patrick Melton's like, oh, I'm going to talk about steel toe. Motherfucker, we've been smoking people way worse than you for a decade. You're just the latest victim. You're the latest scalp on the wall. You're Mahmoud.
Yeah.
Because I know it's hot to have a cut over, and I do a whole bunch of cocaine. Then my 9-year-old daughter would ingest some of it. You guys are just jealous of my cuckery. I used to be something. Lost blame the internet.
Muhammad, your Carl, all those guys. Light work, dude. Light work.
Melton, you're a scalp on the wall. That's horrifying. He just can't stand it.
You've been telling
Well, hold on, can you pause it?
Yeah.
All you got.
I love this because he thinks everyone is as dumb as he is. That's one of the great things about Aaron. He goes, you know, you beat me. Stop making fun of me. If you stop making fun of me, I lose immediately. We're like, whoa. We're not that dumb. We're not going to fall for that.
He's making a very coherent point. He's going, you guys keep saying I'm a cuck. That's just a big W for me. Do you know how many people come to my page and leave a comment calling me a cuck? That's publicity, idiots. As he'll say.
Do cut off the supply drives us nuts. They can't do it. That's what I'm saying. I
didn't carry those trial streams on its own. The appeal was that the panel of actual, yeah. He likes to think he's king shit of Dick Mountain, but it was everyone else. It was potentially criminal. It was uncivil law. It was Eva Barnes. It was that other dude. In New York? Yeah, there's everyone else. And everyone else, yeah, and again, Nick Ricida, I think, has a touch of narcissism, where he thinks everyone in the whole LawTube sphere owes him. Nate the lawyer. Who's the dude that was like a debt collector? A real piece of shit. One of them used to be a fucking debt collector. I don't know. I generally, I mean, potentially criminal, like Sean is fucking cool. I like him. He's about the only one I like.
have gotten so good at this that they cannot resist. They know what the victory is. They know to let it go.
I mean, just the I believe right there in front of him.
I love that he has this strategy. He knows this strategy. He has talked about hackamania every day for the last month.
Carl,
every day he brings up this event right here. And he's like, you know you win, you just don't bring it up. Oh, yeah? Sounds like another L for the toe.
I do want, let me
He's looking
see.
better. He's looking kind of good there, isn't he? I don't know. He's like third season Ray Romano here, isn't he? She's just back from his haircut person.
Everybody loves cucks.
I mean, he's got an opinion on this event, Hackamania. He's been talking about it. You are right.
Buster says, I told you what our guy reported. Mapamania is going to be even more cringe than expected.
Now, did he call it Mapamania?
Yeah, because there's two fucking sex pest, diaper sniper, toddler cobbler fucks there. And one of them's on that fucking panel.
Or Napamania.
Like sleeping or pedophiles?
I thought it was Napamania, which would be better, but if it's Mapamania, he's calling us all pedophiles, which is pretty fucked up.
That seems kind of off-brand for him.
It seems off-brand.
Yeah.
I'm going to hope it's
I like that
Napamania.
his neck like texture and his shirt texture is the same. If they were the same color.
They really don't have anything. I mean, and then Melton yesterday is like, we don't have anything, huh? And I looked at it and I go, nope.
Can you pause it?
You still don't.
This little piggy coming up right after this show. We'll find out how little we have to report about this asshole.
I've heard there's a lot.
Yeah. We're going to give it a minute and 30 more seconds. Yeah, right? Jesus Christ.
Talk about.
Dude, I've been getting drips and drabs, and I can't believe what I'm hearing already.
I've heard there's a lot to talk
It's
about.
amazing. What is it about him that's just so...
I heard there's a lot to talk about.
This is fucking... You see this dude's, like, posture?
Where's the children at? I was promised there'd be children at this event, god damn it. Fucking diddler dacks.
Oh, man.
Oh, he is in this narrow band where he doesn't quite spin out.
His life force is punchable. You know, some people's faces are punchable.
Yeah, it feels like he's been cursed and he's like serving a penance where he has to podcast 100,000 hours to get out of like this
You're
hell.
right.
You know, because he doesn't seem to care. He does it by the book. It's always 4 hours a day. He's like, okay, that's 4 hours. Just like 32,000 more of that. And
Time to
then
make the donuts.
Such a weird
Hold
feeling.
hold on.
That's an old, like, dig joke. I made the donut.
You two are fucking nuts. Are you listening to this guy?
Oh, no, I wasn't.
Aaron Imholt is stacking W's by the second. This man cannot stop winning.
Yeah, because, again, you're in... You're in Sin fucking City. talking about cock shit and about Aaron Імhotep when just outside that convention hall or wherever the fuck they're at. Events you can go to, shows. If you're not a degenerate, right? There's like, what, Circus, see Lions and Tigers and shit. See the Blue Man Group, literally anything else. And these fucking nerds are obsessing over Aaron Імhotep in the City of Sin over who's the biggest cock between two of the most giant cucks in the sector. Dude with the yellow sounds like Ralph. Yeah. That reminds me, Ralph went to Colombia and beat up Rob. Yeah, and he lost his papa's ring. So it's funny, just Waldy says that, but he's literally, he's right. Because the longer and how long they've spent putting on this stupid fucking event, that was Aaron Імhotep stacking up W's. Because, again, why? All right, we got 30 seconds, so we can do 30 more seconds.
He's cooking his own meals. He's mixing his own drinks. He's got 10 people super chatting. We're here at hackamania doing nothing.
In Sin City? The most entertaining city in the world?
All I gotta say is,
with shitty fucking jokes and going through someone's Facebook. Very cool.
you know what? I don't have to say anything. I'm going to let the man speak for himself.
Amazing, he even fucked this up.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there.
Oh my God! Hey, hi, hackamania!
I think that's almost as bad as being set on fire watching that shit. Holy shit. That was an experience. That was like doing tours in Iraq. Ah. And it's like the worst, it is like the worst bully mentality bullshit is what that is. They're so desperate.
Come out.
And I don't know, it's pretty gay to me that you have to host a whole fucking event to defend the honor of like Nickety Crackets.
You know.
Way more.
A little at a time. I mean, they're doing as much as they can, but the big stuff has got to be done all at once.
I don't think we go back to David Wilcock after this. Oh, shit. People, you know what? Let me look up how much it costs to go to Hackamania. Does anyone have the... Oh. So for the 130 cock ticket. For the cock ticket, it's $130. All access to $130 fucking dollars. for that. Yeah. And the VIP ticket was $275. So you could hang out with Nickety Crackets, child abusing cuck, with 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖑𝖆𝖗, and who's the other one? Melton? $275. That's actually pretty genius. I mean, you couldn't in Vegas. Could you imagine what you could do with those tickets with $130 or $275 in Vegas for that? For an event where you're just covering Aaron Imholt's Facebook shit and like running defense for Nickety Crackets. Wow, that is pathetic. That's fucking embarrassing that people paid $130 or $275 for that shit. Oh man. Yo, clout guaranteed, right? Clout guaranteed with 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖑𝖆𝖗 and Patrick Melton. Cool. That's fucking embarrassing. If I paid that much money to go to Hackamania, I legitimately, like I said, I would dip a gun barrel in syrup and chocolate syrup and fucking blow the best part of my personality out onto the ceiling. That is the saddest shit that someone could spend $130 to $275 on in Vegas. Again, I'm like pretty square, but if someone gave me $275 and said, you can go to Hackamania, where you can see Nickety Crackets, Patrick Melton, you can see 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖗, you can see Diller Dax, who gets fucked in the ass by Juju the cow, right? Or you could take that and literally go probably 4 to 10 blocks down the street, get an erotic massage, get your knob gobbled, or whatever else for $275. None of them have clout. And even if they did, why would you pay them to hang out with those losers? Exactly. Some fucking that has just given me the greatest self-esteem boost I think I have ever like seriously. At least Red Feather or whoever watches this, at least you've never spent $275 to see a group of retards in the heart of Sin City. That's something to be said right there. That's like, yikes. $275 Sin City to talk about another guy slurping up someone else, another cuck's cum, or go out and go gambling, or literally step 2 feet outside of the Rusty Clam or wherever the fuck they were, the Silver Dollar or wherever this was going on. It just doesn't add up, right? I mean, Red Feather, if I gave you $275, right? I said, oh, here's the options. You can go see Thunder from Down Under in Vegas, right? Or you can go see Hackamania. Which one are you choosing? Are you going to see Thunder from Down Under, right? The male strippers? Or are you going to go to Hackamania? See a bunch of sick, degenerate, fucking borderline, like, pedos and joke about a cuck slurping up cum. Right? What the? Okay. Oh man. That is absurd. That someone spent $275 to go to that. Oh, Jesus. Over internet drama, too. I Chanley, you missed some of the most. So it's so funny. Chanley has no idea, and like, God bless her, what we were just covering, because like people who are out of the loop, like, oh man, I envy those people. All right, let's see what else illicit clips have. There's probably got to be one more.
Whippets help me.
Oh God.
Nothing to with me.
Why don't we take them?
I didn't forget that, you liar. I remember being flipped off. It was mean. So this is a new thing.
Nick, just cover the court case. You're a lawyer. Was a lawyer, excuse me. Oh man. Oh, by the way, Love Cares. This guy used to be an internet lawyer. Here's a quick bark nuts. Used to be a lawyer, used to be an internet lawyer. This guy used to make hundreds of thousands a stream. And he's fallen so low to the point of grace where he got in trouble. He's on 5 years probation. He can't drink, he can't do drugs because one of his children, a 9-year-old, was found to have ingested cocaine. And that's where we're at. This guy risked his children's lives with cocaine, guns, because he wanted to have an open relationship with another dude's wife and another dude. And so now what Rakaida does is he does whippets, which he inhales nitrous to get high because it doesn't show up on the drug tests. Allegedly, because the people get fucking pissed off. But we all know he's doing this. So anyways, it's an amazing state of affairs that this guy who used to make hundreds of thousands of dollars per stream has been flopped to lower than whale shit. And we're all aboard for it because this guy is kind of a narcissistic prick. He thinks his shit doesn't stink. And anyways,
feel like
but because he's lazy, he apparently won't look into it exactly. Oh, he's definitely doing something. Exactly.
I told the story on air, but maybe I didn't. But apparently Moody shared a story that I told him in the Discord, and now he has snaked me. That little snake
in Minecraft.
He's not shaped like a snake, but he told this story the last time I saw.
So you're complaining about a guy releasing a story that you told in Discord when you just went to an event in fucking Vegas where you went through your Discord and private texts with another man who you were letting fuck your wife.
April was at an intersection in town.
Does anyone believe the story? Because I don't know.
Trying to think when that was. I believe it was in March sometime. And yeah, she was with her boyfriend.
It doesn't logic well because whatever brain cells he has left, he's killing with nitrous or galaxy gas.
And he flipped me off, which, okay, like, I guess.
Aren't you Mr. Big Freedom of Speech guy? Mr. Nickety Crackets? Aren't you always like, hey, freedom of speech, if you want to do this and do that. Oh, you flipped me off. What if it's first, but then I'm afraid to keep.
That didn't do anything to him. I'll come snuggle him.
I bet you would, you fucking freak. Snuggle him and we can share my wife Kayla with you. Aaron's not the only one doing some slurping. You know That's the funny thing too about all that hackamania. Did you notice they left out 50% of what kind of fuck shit Nick was doing? You guarantee Nick was doing as equally reprobate and nasty shit in that relationship. Guaranteed. First said March and supposedly the other dude in January. See, when your brain is rattled with holes off of cocaine and nitrous, I guess your memory gets a little funky.
What a weirdo. But then it apparently made me sad, which is true. Which is true.
Guy acts like a crackhead.
I don't know. Like, is that a bad thing? I guess. I'm not sure. That guy's kind of terrified of me. I don't know why. It's not like I have a history of stealing April away from people.
No one is terrified of you. You look like Jack Skellington, right? From Nightmare Before Christmas. This is cocaine. This is cocaine. Goes up my nose. No, that fucking sucks. But you get the point. What's this? What's this? There's powder everywhere. My wife is a cock. What's this? What's this? It looks like Jack Skellington with AIDS. I'm pretty sure people are just terrified of you, Nick Regaida. Scared shitless.
What a silly life.
John and Jane Doe with $5 says April may have orally agreed to a reading, but did she agree to a digital copy and publication of a letter Nick or Melton were not privy to?
Where the shit gets, like, who cares at this point? Everyone involved in this situation is stupid.
No, she probably didn't, but I will say this, and I gained a lot of respect for April after this Moody message. I want to
Ambition, right?
apologize to April today. I thought she was made of a lot weaker
Jack Skellington is a lovable creature that
stuff.
Didn't cuck out. It's the corpse's bride, right? Or whatever.
I thought she was still being kind of a hussy Coke Whippets whore. And, you know, while it was later than me, while it was, you know.
And this guy, if anyone doesn't know, was part of the weird orgy or whatever the heck Nick Regaida was having with his wife, Kayla, Erin Imholt.
Almost a year, well, 7-8 months later than I recovered and renounced it and moved the fuck on. She renounced it and moved the fuck on. Good for her, dude. And she got off. This is from Moody. We'll look at this in a moment. She got off the internet. She got a job. She found a decent regular dude.
Get to the point, Aaron.
Apparently, hopefully, there's no drugs involved. I have no reason to believe there are. Fucking good for her, man. Fucking good for her.
That's only good things.
I hope she has a fucking sterling life.
Why even have this other co-host if he's not going to have an opinion on shit?
I really do, because Lord knows we all put her through way too much. You know, stuff she wasn't ready for. You could say, oh well, she chose to, or well, she did.
No, Aaron, she's still an adult, and she still chose to get involved with cocaine and to fuck up her life just as bad as you and Nick Regaida did. I'm with Kino Casino here on this one, or whoever said it, that they're trying to cover for April, but she was just as devious, degenerate as everyone else, and she doesn't get a free pass, and she shouldn't get, like, protected just because she is a woman. Like, she was just as equally involved, and she wasn't as, like, innocent as Aaron's trying to make her out to be. Like as if she was just, oh, helplessly there, and oh, whoops, I snorted some cocaine. No, it's like, she was a willing participant too, and...
But, you know, as someone who made some shitty choices myself, I understand having that room for grace. And if you're willing to say, I'm sorry, this was fucked up, this was wrong, I understand that, I get it. So let's go to this Moody thing. I feel like people are edging and they want to see it. So the lesson here, Nick, stop telling these fucking strangers your most embarrassing emotional shit. They are going to snake you. Like these hackamania people, Patrick and Moody and Carl, they don't give a shit about Nick. He's an internet guy.
Exactly. And they, you know, it's funny how Nick, not hackamania, was such a big fucking dunk on Erin Imholt, but essentially what you did, it was like, to borrow a term from PPP at Kino Casino, was a kamikaze felt. You took yourself out too, because, again, it is funny how they left out the private, intimate details of what Nick and Kayla were doing. Isn't that funny? You know, I'm just saying.
No,
you're a
little cow. Stop letting milk you.
They're going to snake you the first chance they get. And Moody snaked them like 24 hours ago.
Like, Nick hadn't been back home in Minnesota for a day, and Moody's already spilling state secrets. Let's take a look. This is from the NLO Discord. Says, I don't know April and have never spoken with her. I assume she's living in the place she was doxxed at. Based on what Nick told me, he hasn't spoken to her in months. The last time he came close to that was in January, where he saw her at a traffic light, and her boyfriend flipped him off. Can I say this? Another win for the boyfriend. Nice work, buddy. Seems like the...
I think give April that pass because she... Well, still, even if you're young and like... you allow yourself into a certain situation that torpedoes your life. You have just as equal right. Like, I don't know if one of my friends was like, "Hey, let's go out and do cocaine," or "Hey, you want to fuck my friend's wife?" I'm gonna be like, "No, I'm good. No, thank you."
The boyfriend is protective and isn't cool with them interacting. He got her hooked on fucking cocaine and got her arrested. Yeah, he's probably not okay with them interacting. And if you're any kind of man...
That's the sign of the closest thing to a decent person we've had in this whole scenario.
He's the best of all of us. He's our sorcerer supreme, Johnny. It's the best. He was supposed to be the best of us.
Oh, so the rest of this all
You were supposed to restore April's life, not lead it into darkness. So he flips Nick off and isn't cool with them interacting. Well, any man with a fucking dick and balls is not cool with their girl interacting with their ex in any capacity.
It's a little uncomfortable.
Oh,
like,
well,
friends thing is something, maybe it depends, but yeah, in this particular situation, yeah, fuck off everywhere.
And also, Nick said that he saw April at a traffic light recently. Didn't give out the part of the story that makes him look like a cuck.
Right, didn't give out the part where he got flipped the bird.
This is a theme, and if you guys want to know why I'm laughing and having a good time with the hackamania stuff today, it's this. I know Nick, and if it makes him look like dog shit, he ain't putting it out there. He's leaving it out. He ain't putting in the full context. This is just a typical Nick coping mechanism. So the boyfriend flips him off, and let me tell you, as someone who knows April better than anyone in this entire story, the reason the boyfriend flipped him off is not because he
has the draw to become... I don't want to threesome, and apparently Aaron dug his big old toe and
isn't cool with them interacting. It's because April told this new boyfriend that...
The moral of the story is, if you're gonna have some kind of weird, fucked up, open relationship with friends, maybe I mean, if you're gonna like indulge in such behaviors and do massive amounts of drugs, that's why trap houses exist. Like I said before, if you are gonna do this weird shit with drugs and orgies, why there's trap houses. That's why there's Airbnbs, why there's hotel rooms. Take your weird freak shit away from your children and do your weird degenerate sex shit away from your families and children. That's what, like, a basic, like, if you are a degenerate with no conscience that wants to do this weird like shit, you know, you would at least have the common decency to be like, hey, let's move our sex and blow party to an Airbnb or somewhere else. But no, these people are so gooner brained and so drug addled that, oh, I'll just have it in our house and our kids can have access to cocaine.
that she needs
but then again, let's face it. The intellects of these people involved, probably not the smartest.
Be protected from Nick, that he's crazy, that he's on drugs, that Nick, anything you've done,
I hope he succeeds.
So Johnny, all this wrangling and all this anger about Aaron, you know what it really is?
What's that?
Nick is sad.
Nick is sad?
Nick is he's a sad boy. Nick is sad that his drug buddy left him. And now
you gotta feel great to be his wife right about now.
Yeah, now he's snorting nitrous and whippets. Because he can't cope for the 5 years of no alcohol or drugs. And that's the truth of it. That's why Nick Rakaida even showed up to Hackamania. That was kind of embarrassing, more likely to him than it was Aaron 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖒. That's probably why he went to Hackamania, and that's probably why he's seething about it still. Can you imagine what those children heard? Yeah, God only... I'm not saying that the kids know what was going on, but kids aren't as ignorant as their parents give them. Of course. And I mean, if you're hearing crazy, like coked up, weird monkey sex in the same house, even if the door is shut and locked, you're still going to be hearing like, right? Something's going on. Oh,
Is Mommy and Daddy having a wrestling competition? Who wins the belt?
We joke, but this is terrible. And you know, oh yeah, oh yeah.
I'm scared. What's going on?
This kid's probably. We joke about it, but this is like, yikes. Oh, April! Or whatever else they, you know, crack or whatever they were smoking. Everyone was just playing leapfrog, kids. Yeah.
Mommy, Daddy, why were you naked doing it?
Oh, so we can be more aerodynamic as we jump over each other, honey. Out here, take this vial and blow and do it in the kitchen. Leave us alone. All right, kids. Aaron made you some SpaghettiOs. It's time to eat your SpaghettiOs while we're off having crazy monkey cocaine sex and... And you know what? The shit, when it happened, right? No one would have fucking known about this if Nickety Crackets wasn't fucking dumb enough to stream and insinuate it to begin with. If Nick was as 180 IQ as he was, don't even mention it on stream or anything. And you have Aaron 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖗 do the same thing. Like, you could just say, oh, we're hanging out, we're going to lunch. And then behind closed doors, you're having your crazy monkey cocaine sex, right? And no one would have to know. But then again, Nickety Crackets is 180 IQ, smarter than I will ever be. I mean... if I, like... if I was doing the same thing, no one would know about it. Because I'm not retarded enough to be like, oh, hey, I gotta get a dub. I gotta get a dub over a stranger on the internet talking shit, and I'm gonna reveal personal, stupid, sensitive information. Nerds. Right? And then look, he blew up his entire life, and now he can't drink or do drugs for 5 fucking years, and if he does fuck up, he's going to jail for 28 days. Again, Nickety Crackets, smartest lawyer in the universe who made $100,000 a stream back in his heyday. A guy who's just fucking more intelligent than everyone else. Pardon me, I'm just a retard. But Andre, I bet Crackets would say that's slow. Yeah, of course. As you see, he's so fucking smarter than everyone. That's why he knows better. That's why he's still having an ongoing defamation case with Montegraph. You know, and I bet any minute Nickety Crackets is gonna pull out that fucking dab dub on Montegraph. He had to sell that other house for his inheritance to pay for his defamation case. Yeah, that's sad. A guy, again, who in his heyday, you know, this has to be said, $100,000 or more, 400 a stream, and he didn't set any of this money aside. But it's amazing. I will say this to Nickety Crackets and company, it's like, we at least have you as an example to look forward to if we do ever ascend to such heights. You know, actually, no, that's even, he didn't ascend to any heights. He kind of just was like popular and decent for a while, and then again, I'm going to say this as my own personal opinion in closing. Nickety Crackets deserve everything that's coming to him because he defamed Christ. You can make jokes about Jesus Christ, but he took away from the deification of Jesus Christ, and everything he's experiencing now is because he did so, and because he made a mockery of the Christian faith. And look how he's paying for that now. You know, I went to live in Michigan. Is it Michigan? I thought he lived in Minnesota. Awesome inheritance. I'm pissed off. Well, yeah, and again, the only reason why he was able to go through law school is because rich ass parents. The only reason why he has a fancy house or any of this is because rich ass parents. He's a silver spoon goblin, always has been, always will be, and it is karmic. Like it's nice to see it all go down in flames. Either or. Can you imagine fucking up that bad? You have it all and you blow it on some mid-tier woman, April, and a goblin like 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖕𝖊𝖒𝖕. You torpedo your entire streaming career for a little bit of cocaine and what, like 4 to 5 minutes of pleasure of drilling some other dude's wife. That's the funny thing about this. And Nickety Crackets can get as mad as he wants at Kiwi Farms or Kino Casino or commentators like us, but at the end of the day, dude, it was you. It was you. You torpedoed your own shit in immaculate fashion. He literally had the American Dream handed to him, yeah, on a silver platter. And why did he do that with that silver platter? He fucking shit right in it. And I know, like, detractors or people go, "Oh, you just wish you had a." No, actually, I don't. Some piece of strange on a mid-tier woman like April to torpedo your entire life. That's not worth it. And what, a little bit of cocaine? He couldn't even copulate natural pills and so exactly. But it is funny how they're trying to make 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖕 the big baddie, right? The big retard that torpedoed it all. And again, it's all Nick. He was the one that instigated this whole thing. The idiot that publicized what he was doing with April and Aaron to begin with. I mean, for all people know, I keep most of my private shit like way private and not anywhere associated with this. For as I mean, as much as other people know, I could be in the same situation, but even if I was, you know, it's like, I don't know, it's just, this does wonders for my self-esteem that everyone could look at this and be like, wow, this guy's a fucking idiot. And we shouldn't wish to be in his shoes for 1 minute, because that's one thing I will say with Nickety Crackets and Ethan Ralph is we can thank our lucky stars that we're not in their shoes. Thank you, God. Thank you for giving us the intellect and at least moral conscience to not fuck up our lives that bad. Let's see. That's why I go to Vegas. All right. Well, I can't top that. So hopefully, if everyone's caught this stream after it's been live, you found it interesting, entertaining, and basically everyone involved, even with Melton, just Waldy, Diddler, Dax at Hackamania. Yeah, you guys all come off looking more gay and retarded than 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖒𝖒. Because again, to wrap this up, you guys were in Vegas, the city of sin, and the people who went to that event, they could have spent $130 or $275 to enjoy perdition, and you wasted it at an event talking about Nickety Crackets and 𝕿𝖊𝖒𝖕𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝖒𝑀 See you guys next time. Thanks, Red Feather. Thank you, Love Cares, for being in the chat. Let's see who else. And thank you, Buffalo Spunks, for being at the David Wilcock section. And have a good one, guys. Thank your lucky stars that you ain't Nick Ricida. Or at least we can all learn that, hey, maybe doing massive amounts of cocaine and having swingers parties is not the best idea, especially with online personalities.